Ahoy, peace and blessings, welcome back. Today we're talking about knowing yourself. Alright, if you've been indoctrinated and you left your indoctrination, whatever you grew up as, you get what I mean, how your parents indoctrinated you, how your country indoctrinated you, you get what I mean, how your job indoctrinated you. You spent time breaking out of their programs, out of their designs, right, out of their lifestyle. Why would you go to another religion, right? To another institution, you get what I mean? Into another cult, into another organization, to be indoctrinated again, right? If you really know yourself, you'll know you're not one to be indoctrinated. You get what I mean? You're here to set your own path. You get what I mean? So why would you go follow someone else again? You get what I mean? That is insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting something different. Right, so we have to spend time knowing ourselves, really learning ourselves, our true self. You get what I mean? If you know you're a dark person, you align more with dark energies, right? And I'm not talking about no weirdo shit. I'm talking about just being more introverted, right? Being a night owl instead of an early bird. You get what I mean? Being more comfortable in isolation, right? Being able to get more done by yourself. You know, you're one of those types of people, self-starting types of people, self-sufficient types of people, more dark people, right? Why would you pretend to follow that, you know, dogma of love and light? You get what I mean? When you don't like being seen that often, right? You don't like sharing yourself that often. You know, you'd rather work behind the scenes rather than be on the stage. Right, you really have to spend time knowing yourself, you get what I mean? And vice versa, if you know you're really a light person, you like being seen, you're extroverted, right? You like meeting new people, it's easy to you, it's natural to you. You get what I mean? Why would you pretend to be a dark person? You get what I mean? You had a beautiful childhood, things like that, right? You have both parents, you still have both parents, right? Your parents still married, you have a big family. Why would you pretend to be, you get what I mean, something you're not? We really have to know ourselves. That way energy will come to us more easily and energy will leave us that we do not want more easily. You get what I mean? We'll be able to attract and manifest the things that are deserving of us and things that are made for us and are right for us. You get what I mean? There's some people who enjoy the light, you know, they want to be on the magazine, right? Every week there's someone new on the magazine, there's someone new. You get what I mean? And that's okay, right? But there's other people who would rather make the magazine. You get what I mean? No one knows who's making these magazines, right? You'd have to look very deep. You get what I mean? Some people are really better as A&Rs, as managers, right? As accountants. You get what I mean? Rather than being on a stage, right? Getting pictures taken of them all the time. You get what I mean? You just really have to know who you are and play your role. Not everyone who is supposed to be a manager is going to live how they want to as an artist, right? And bear those fruits that they're trying to grow. You get what I mean? And people who are really artists, you know, you can't play the back row, right? You can't try to help someone with their ideas, right? Because you have so many ideas of your own you're trying to get out, right? If you know you're indoctrinated, right? You follow everything a book tells you to do. You follow everything someone else tells you to do, right? These corrupt people anyway, right? We're all sinners. You're following some other sinner anyway, but you're acting like you're righteous. You want people to follow you. You get what I mean? You think you're onto something new. You think this is a new way of life or something when it's been the same for hundreds of years. You get what I mean? You have to know yourself. You have to really take an outside look in, right? To know what it is you're truly doing and how you're really affecting other people and how you're affecting yourself. You get what I mean? A lot of times our mind, our heart, our soul, our spirit, our body, our God, our family, our jobs, our partner, you know, all that stuff has to align perfectly. You get what I mean? If that stuff is out of whack, it's not aligned, right? You're going to start having problems in your life, health problems, mental problems, relationship problems, job problems, financial problems, emotional problems, you get what I mean? Stress. Right? Because you're pretending to be someone you're not. If you're this way at your job, you're this way in your relationship, you're this way to your kids, you're this way to your mother, you get what I mean? You have like 10 masks. You're wearing 20 masks in one day instead of just wearing one mask, which is you, which is your true self, which is the self you're not afraid to hide, which is yourself you're not afraid to show. You get what I mean? And you're comfortable in the light and the dark. You get what I mean? Because me personally, you know, it's hard for me to even pretend like I'm 100% dark. or I'm 100% light. You get what I mean? I'm really a Libra moon. I'm really 50-50. I'm right in the middle. You know, things can go this way, things can go that way. You know, they're both okay with me, but I like them to stay in the middle. I like them to be balanced. You get what I mean? I strive for balance, right? A lot of people strive for, right, 100% light, knowing they never be able to even withstand that much energy. They've never even experienced that much. You get what I mean? God knows who you are. You should know yourself, right? Your parents should know you. You should know your kids. Your kids should know you. You get what I mean? This is just truthful energy, right? You should live in truth, no matter if you're religious or not, whether you're on the left-hand path or right-hand path or not. You get what I mean? I consider myself in the middle. I'm in the middle path. I'm making my own things. You get what I mean? I pass the test how I pass them. You get what I mean? I give the answers I give, right? I live how I live. I wake up how I wake up. I dream about what I dream about. I see things how I see things. I advise you to do the same. You know, all of my answers may not fit for your program, for your lifestyle, for your soul, for your spiritual growth, for your evolution, right? Maybe you can only take 99% of the things I say. Maybe you only take 10% of things I say. You get what I mean? That's okay, right? But you still like listen to me. You know, you don't have to, you could take 0% of what I say. You get what I mean? You could really be 100% self-sufficient. That's cool, right? You just here for entertainment. You get what I mean? That's cool. Just do you, right? I'm not judging you whether you're 100% light or 100% dark or 90-10 or 85-15. You get what I mean? 50-50 like me, like how I consider myself, how the stars literally consider me. You get what I mean? How all the planets consider me, how God considers me. You get what I mean? How the devil considers me. Everyone knows. You know, I'm 50-50. Things can go this way or that way. Things can go good. Things can be good. Things can be bad. Things can be how I like them. You get what I mean? A little bit of good chaos, a little bit of bad chaos, right? A little bit of healthiness, a little bit of indulgence. You get what I mean? I'm not a monk or something, right? I've had lifetimes being a monk. I'm not a monk right now. I'm not a nun. You get what I mean? I'm not, right, abstinent or something. You get what I mean? But I don't want to be sick. You get what I mean? I still value my health and things like that, right? I take my time and I plan out how I want to live. You know, what is really that bad? What's worth, you get what I mean, lowering my health by 1%, but what's worth lowering my health by 1%, but raising my mood and my vibe by, you get what I mean, 500%. You know, I might do things like that, right? And people will say, oh, I'm a heretic, or I'm blasphemous, or I'm going to hell, or I'm dumb. And they'll know the definition of dumb is not being able to speak. You get what I mean? They'll say I'm, you know, lacking intelligence or something, right? But just, I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. You get what I mean? I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not going to sit up here, give you guys, you know what I mean, fitness advice or something like that. I've been the same size most of my life. You know, you've been the same size most of your life, and you're here trying to be a fitness coach, right? That doesn't add up. You've been the same size. It's 100% genetics. You get what I mean? There's people who look fit. There's people who are just naturally healthier than most people, but it's none of their doing. You get what I mean? It's literally luck-based. It's literally genetics-based, right? So don't let these things that are natural to you act like they're, you know, you, like you put time into it, like you put years into it. You get what I mean? People want to be, you know, into beauty and things like that, right? But they're just naturally beautiful, right? That came from their mom, their dad, you know what I mean? Their whole family looks about 99% the same. They're going to act like, oh yeah, I spent years working on my beauty. I'm sure you have, you get what I mean? But it's just like, you know, some things are just natural. You know, let the professionals be professionals, right? Let the experts be the experts. Let the people who put 10 years, 20 years into something do what they are here to do, right? You need to find what you're here to do and be true to yourself, right? You should make that decision as quickly as you can so you can plant those seeds as quickly as you can. You know, trees take 10 years to grow. A lot of trees take 10 years to grow for you to finally get fruit. So you can spend the next 10 years of your life faking and not growing any fruits, or it can be your real self, right? And attract those real people who like the real you and who find value in what you're putting out, who find value in your real self and not just one of the masks you're wearing. You get what I mean? It might be good for years. You know, you can wear a mask and fake it till you make it. You get what I mean? For years, but eventually that mask will fall off. You can't deny yourself, right? And this is something I learned from angels. You know, angels know exactly who you are. Demons know exactly who you are. God knows exactly who you are. You know, so I don't have no fake energy about me. I know myself truly 100%. You know, if you're not even religious like that, right? Or maybe you are, right? You're spending time praying. You know, praying is good. right? You have to realize, who was Jesus praying to, right? Jesus was really praying to God, but Jesus is God. Jesus was praying to himself. You get what I mean? You should spend time praying to yourself. Once you really know yourself, you'll realize, oh, I'm praying to myself actually, right? You have to understand your wide range of emotions. You have to understand your thought patterns, your habits. You know, the longer you've been alive, the longer you've had to realize these things. Okay, I've been happy before. I've been depressed before. I've been miserable before. I've been excited before. I've been, you get what I mean, joyful before. I've been sad. You get what I mean? All the range of emotions that we have, right? That is all of us. It's not just the love and the light. You get what I mean? I'm so against that realm of logic. You get what I mean? It's all the things. You get what I mean? Okay, we've done all these things, right? We've been angry, we've been happy, we've been excited, etc., right? So these are all the things I am. Let me now pick my future. You get what I mean? What am I going to do today? What am I going to be today? How am I going to feel today? Okay, I've been happy before, right? So I know I can feel happiness. Let me pick happiness, right? You start deciding your life. You start deciding who you are. If you don't know who you are, even if you do, you know, you're kind of shaky, you're 50-50 on it, start deciding who you are. Okay, I'm happy. Today I'm happy, right? I know I could be sad today. I could be depressed today. I could be miserable today. I could not want to get out of bed today. I've done all those things before, right? But I've also woken up early. You get what I mean? I've also been on point. You get what I mean? I've also been locked in before. You get what I mean? So pick those things, right? That's when you know yourself. It's like, oh, okay, I know myself. I know I can be depressed as hell. Let me not do that, because I know I can do that way. You know, because I know I can be that way. Right? It's like, if you want to go home, you know you got to make a right there. You got to drive down the street, then you got to make another right. Right? So why would you make a left? You know what happens when you go left. You know you'll never go home. You know you'll never be where you want to go. You're trying to go to your job. You know you got to go this way. Why are you going somewhere else? You get what I mean? You're trying to go to your partner's house, your girlfriend's house, your boyfriend's house. Why are you taking other paths? Why are you taking other roads? You know, you have to take that energy internally, right? If we want to be a certain place internally, we want to reside in happiness, we want to reside in heaven, we want to reside in joy and positive energy and light. You get what I mean? We need to, you know, steer ourselves that way. Steer your emotions. You can spend time regulating your emotions. If you're not regulating your emotions, the outside world will do it for you, right? If you're not regulating your thoughts, the outside world will do it for you. If you're not regulating your heartbeat and your breath, right, you're just being affected by everything you see outside of you, which is not God, right? God lives inside of you. So start praying to yourself. Start asking God, who is yourself, can I be happy today? I'm going to be happy today because I'm God. I'm going to make sure my avatar, my physical form, my human form is happy today. Right? It's that simple. You get what I mean? Because Jesus was praying to himself. Why would Jesus pray to himself? Right? He's just trying to lock in. He's just trying to bring that energy down here into his human form. He knows he has higher forms. You get what I mean? He knows he has higher godly forms, more divine forms, more divine energy. Right? Okay, I've seen a lot of divine energy. Right? I manifest a lot of divine energy in my life. Let me manifest that today. Right? You pick, you regulate. Right? You know yourself. Start picking, start regulating, start choosing to be yourself, who you want to be, not the part of you that's sick. Oh, you know, we've all been sick before. Let's choose not to be sick today. Right? Just internally, right? That's the energy we need to start pushing out into the world. We've been broke before. We've had a lot of money before. Let me choose to be wealthy today. Right? Let me choose not to be broke today. Let me choose to be healthy. Let me choose to be happy. You get what I mean? Let me pray for that. Let me pray for myself. Let me pray to myself, right? Because I've done all those things. God didn't make me broke. God didn't make me rich. God didn't make me sick. God didn't make me healthy. You get what I mean? God didn't make me sad. God didn't make me happy, right? These were all my things. These were all your doings, right? We have to take responsibility for ourselves. So, okay, let me pick. Let me be happy, healthy, wealthy today. Let me be excited today. Let me be on point today. Let me lock in today. We spent years, you get what I mean, procrastinating. We know that's who we are, right? But let's pick the better part of ourselves. Let's pick our higher self. Let's pick our most high version of ourselves, right? The most high version of you isn't just going to lay in bed all day. The most high version of you isn't just going to sit around, do nothing all day and just rot, right? The most high version of you knows we have to be healthy, right? Knows we have limited time, knows we need to lock in, be on point. You get what I mean? Knows we need to be hustling, right? Knows we have light to show. Know we have darkness to show to the people who resonate more with darkness, right? Because we've mastered light and dark. You get what I mean? We're past that. We're past love and light. You get what I mean? We've mastered chaos. We can tell you exactly what chaos is. You get what I mean? Show who you truly are, not the version of you think people want. You get what I mean? Not the fake version. Okay, we can all be fake. Why would you pick the fake version again? Right? The fake version didn't work last time. Right? The sitting in bed, writing all day version didn't work last time. You know what I'm saying? You're still not where you want to be, right? You're still trying to improve. So pick those versions of you who, you get what I mean, drive a little faster. You get what I mean, internally speaking, who gets there a little faster, right? Who gets to the point faster, who doesn't let anything stop them. You know, that version of you, the most high version of you. You get what I mean? You know you're manic. You know, spend time working on your mania. You know you're bipolar. Spend time working on your bipolar, right? Pray to God to fix your bipolar, right? But that's you. You got to spend time doing that. Pray to God to fix your depression. But that's you. You got to spend time doing that. You know, we can take things outside of us, you know, healthy foods and things like that, right? Nice weather, sunsets, beaches, sunrises. We can take things outside of us, churches, temples, to help regulate that internal part of us. But a lot of this outside world is not good for our internal worlds. You know, a lot of this is just advertisements. You get what I mean? A lot of this stuff is just capitalism. A lot of this stuff doesn't care, right? So be around people who care about you, right? But care about yourself. Start praying to you. Show yourself that you care about yourself, because you are God, like your Bible tells you. You get what I mean? You never prayed to yourself before. You know, how are you God? Right? You're following Jesus, right? Jesus was praying to himself. That's the way, right? Really knowing yourself. You know, you're overweight. You know, pray to yourself. I need to lose this weight, right? You've been praying to God and it ain't been working, right? Because you have the power to do that. Why do you want God to step in, right? You're an adult. You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. You get what I mean? You got the floor. You can do push-ups. You can do squats. You get what I mean? Take matters into your own hand. Take control of your own life. Don't let anything stop you, especially not you, especially not your lower versions, especially not the versions of you who are okay with just laying in bed all day, not working out, not eating. You get what I mean? Those versions of you are sick. Those versions of you are more connected to demons. You get what I mean? Those versions of you can die off and no one would care, right? Be connected to the part of you people care about, right? Be connected to the part of you that you care about. You get what I mean? You got to care about yourself for other people to care about you. You know, when you really know yourself, other people can get to know you. If you don't even know yourself, what are other people getting to know besides your lower forms, your lower versions, your lower self, right? We can introduce ourselves like, hey, I'm my higher self. You know what I'm saying? Someone asks you what your name is, say my higher self. You get what I mean? Put that energy into the world. You know, you don't got to say that for real, but that's the energy. Like, what's your name? I'm God. I'm the most high God. I'm the highest version of God. I'm the highest version of myself. You get what I'm saying? This ain't the depressed one. This ain't the sad one. You get what I'm saying? This ain't the broken one. This ain't the starving one. You get what I'm saying? This ain't the heartbroken one. This ain't the lazy one. This ain't the overweight one. This ain't the anorexic one. This is the most high one. This is the highest one. You get what I'm saying? This ain't the one attacked by demons. This ain't the one attacked by devils. No, this is the most high one. This is my favorite one. You get what I'm saying? This is the best one. Right? We can be our best versions, right? We know ourselves. We know we have versions that aren't the best one. Right? People don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. Right? Be real with yourself. Oh yeah, I know my lower self could crash out, right? But this is the best one. This is the good one. This the one that's on point. This the one that's locked in. This the one that know I shouldn't do that. This the one that know a lot of that stuff don't matter. This the one that know we got better things to do. You get what I'm saying? This the one that know, right? The sun is up, we up. This one know the moon's up, we up. You get what I'm saying? We know everything gets better with time. But how much time are you spending in your higher self? You know, how many hours a day are you your highest version, truthfully? You know, we need to start upping those numbers, right? I'm auditing your spirit right now. I'm auditing your soul right now. We need to start upping those numbers. You get what I mean? How many hours a day are you praying to yourself? You know what I mean? We need to start upping those numbers. How many hours a day are we in divine energy? How many hours a day are we depressed? We need to start lowering those numbers. How many hours a day are we sad? We need to start lowering those numbers. You know what I'm saying? How many hours a day are we broke? We need to start lowering those numbers. When the last time you seen a miracle? How many hours a day are we seeing miracles, right? How many hours a day is God talking to us? How many sentences a day does God really say to us? You know what I'm saying? Start upping those numbers, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to evolve. We're here to ascend. You get what I'm saying? So let's stop pretending. Let's lock in for real. Let's know ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Spend time getting to know yourself. Peace and blessings. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Peace.